So we're going to talk about the importance of conditioning a marker with our dogs. So it's so important that we have a marker that we can use. So I've got my clicker here. The way I set up with a dog is I'm going to put the clicker in my leash hand. Again, the importance of having a short and loose leash. So I've got Berlin on a nice short leash. And when I want to condition my marker with her, I have to make sure I don't do any telegraphing towards the reward. So I'm actually going to hold my hand in a very neutral position. I'm going to click the clicker and reach in as fast as I can to my pouch to reward her. So I don't want to do any type of telegraphing. It's a huge mistake to reach towards your pouch and then click, because that will not condition your clicker. Your dog will only watch your hand. So I want to hold my hand in a very neutral spot, and I want to deliver the reward. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to teach her that the clicker is the only predictor of the reward. So I'm actually going to reach my hand into the pouch, and I'm going to bring up nothing. You see that she's hoping that maybe I dropped something. Actually, you dropped something. It's right there. There you go. So I'm going to reach into my pouch and give her nothing. I'm going to reach in again. You see she's looking at it, and I'm going to bring out nothing. And then I'm going to hold my hand in a neutral spot, click, and then I reward. And you can see that she's actually brightening up and getting very excited when she hears the clicker. And then there's another false trial. So I want Berlin to always be listening for her clicker, not focusing on my hand and on my treat pouch. We're going to talk about a focus exercise you can do with your dog to make sure that you teach them their name. It's so important that your dog have a very good name orientation, but also we want to teach dogs that when there's something they want, they focus on us. So this is those pre-MAC exercises where the dog learns the solution to things I want is to focus on my handler. So if you have a brand new dog, we're going to start off very, very simple, where we're just going to take a treat and we're going to bring it up to our eyes to make sure our dog's looking at us and click and treat. So many dogs do not look at their handlers, especially when they are out in the environment. So we really have to get a dog good at this. So lower it up to your eyes, click and reward. And I would do that as many times as necessary to make sure you have good sustained eye contact. As soon as you've done that, then we can get the treat out of our hands. So the exact same motion, and I'm going to click and reward. And again, exact same motion, and I'm going to reward. And now I'm going to just stand here and do nothing, and I'm going to click and treat any actual eye contact my dog gives me. So I'm just going to stand here with a neutral position, and as soon as my dog kind of finds my face and looks up at me, I'm going to instantly click and reward that. So this is another exercise where your marker is very important, because if you didn't use a marker, as soon as I reach for my treat pouch, my dog's eye contact is going to be gone from me and onto the treat pouch. So now I can actually start to think about introducing her name, because I want to pair the verbal cue of her name in front of a behavior she's doing, which is looking at me. So now that she's staring at me, I'm going to say, Freya. 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 And now I'm going to see if I can actually get it to orientate. So I am going to toss a treat, and right as she's finishing, say her name and see if she will then do the behavior of coming and focusing back on me. Freya. 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 Now you'll notice that she delays a little bit and looks at the treat pouch, so if that happens, just delay your reward. Freya. So now she's looking at me first instead of the pouch. Freya. Freya. So nice eye contact there. So now we're going to introduce the pre-MAC part, which is I'm going to take a reward and I'm going to hold it off to the side, and her way of getting this reward is going to be to look at me. So you're going to learn a lot about your dog here. If your dog barks at the treat, if your dog jumps to try to get the treat, that tells you that is their solution for getting what they want. And if that's the case, we need to change that. So if I hold the treat out here, as soon as she looks back at me, I'm going to click and reward. Any other behavior you can ignore. Make sure your treat is not too high up. If it's up here, the dog won't think they can get it. So you want it to be pretty close to them, and they have to look away. And once you start to get those first couple looks, then you can add a little bit of duration there. So Freya's looking right at me, and we're going to reward. So that's how we make sure that when a dog sees something they want, the first thing that pops into their mind is I better focus up on my handler. And now that I have that, should I want to ask for an additional cue, like a down or a target or any other thing your dog might know, you'll actually get it.